Abdul Rahman. I'm a lecturer at a public university in Kenya. In our last lesson, we discussed about pointer call by a value. In our last lesson, actually we had found out that the concept is whereby a function receives a pointer argument as a value. And actually we have seen that it's only the value inside the address that will be manipulated. However, the address remains unchanged. Now, we are going today to talk about what is a pointer call by reference. Here, actually, we are also now saying in that particular journey, we are going to look at the definition of how to call up a pointer by reference, the concept, and the implementation. So, let us look at the definition of a pointer call by reference. Actually, here we are going to understand that when we call up by reference, basically what are we calling it up by using up actually an address. So the definition will be very simple. It is a concept whereby a function actually accepts again an argument, but this time not as a value, but actually it accepts it as an address. So you are passing on an address, and as a result, when we pass on as an address, actually an address is going to be manipulated. And when an address is going to be manipulated, it refers also the value also is going to be manipulated. Therefore, in this particular concept, both the value and the address are going to be manipulated, as opposed in a pointer call by value. So let's see what is, let's try to understand the concept behind it. So let's take for an example. Here we have got a variable a, which we give it up some value, and a variable b, we give up a value of 20. Therefore, basically, what will happen here, we can say our pointer 1 can be assigned the address of a, and our pointer 2 can be assigned a value, an address of b. So if you want to conceptualize the same thing, here we'll have our a with a value of 10, and here we'll have our b with a value of 20. And you will have some certain address. Let's take for example, this address will be 2020 and this address will be 3020. And then here we'll have our 2 pointer. So you'll have your pointer 1, and here we'll have our pointer 2, and we'll have a certain address. Let's take for example 4050 and 6070. Now, what will be the value here? The value of this particular pointer a will point actually to pointer p1 point up to a, and it will store the address 2020, and the p2 will point to the variable b, which is address 3020. So this will be actually the value. So let's now change actually the value, or we pass on the values of a and the addresses of p. So in this particular concept, we are going to say now the value of a, instead of 10, will give it 20, and the value of b will give it 10. And here basically we are going to have my p1, instead of assigning to a, we are assigning to b, and our p2 we are going to assign it to a now. So actually we have already changed them. So let's see now how we can work up actually with this particular concept and see what will happen. Now, when we change here, what will happen here? The value here becomes 20, and when we change here, the value becomes out 10. Now also we have changed up the address of P now to point up. So it doesn't point up here. Now actually it points up there at B, which is 3020. And here it points out actually at A, which is 2020. Now, if we are going to see what will happen, the output here, if we have got the output after change, actually we'll have our A change to 20 and our B change to 10. And then we'll have our P1, actually it has changed, P1 it has changed to 3020, and P2 it has actually changed to 2020. While originally before the change we had seen that our A output was 10, B was 20, and P1 was actually 220, 2020, and P2 actually it was 3020. So these are the changes which you actually have made. However, now let's go to the C++ and try to demonstrate actually the same. So here in the C++, basically we are going to make up actually a function, and in that particular function, basically what we have done, we have called it again change, and basically we have taken up two pointers, pointer P1 and P2, and then we have declared up some variables A and B, giving up the value of 10 and the value of 20, and then we have assigned P1 to address of A and P2 to the address of B. And here basically before change we want to actually print the value of A, B, and the value of C. So basically that's what we have done, and we are printing up those particular value. And then the next part of it we are changing. So we are changing what? What are we changing? We are changing up the value of A from 10 to 20, and value of B from 20 to 10. And then we are assigning actually from P1 had the address of A, here it has got address of B, and P2 had the address of B, here it has got an address of A. And basically we are just printing up to see how the change is going to be affected. And then here actually we are calling our function to see what will happen. So we declare two variables. Let's take for example x. So we are declaring two variables x and y, and then we are calling up our function change, and we are passing up the addresses of x and the addresses of y. So basically that is our program. Let's see if we execute what will happen. So if we execute this particular program, actually we can see that before change the value of A was 10, and after change the value of before change the value of B was 20. The address finish up with 64 for P1, and the address for P2 finish up with 60. However, after change you have seen that the value of A has changed actually from 10 to 20, and the value of B has changed from 20 to 10, and the address has changed from 64 to 60, and the address for P2 has changed even from 60 to 64. So this actually demonstrates the pointer call by reference. And until next time, actually we have come up to the end of this particular demonstration of pointer by reference. In our next lesson, basically we are going to talk about a new topic altogether, and that it is managing actually memory, or memory management in C programming. Until now, I say thank you and bye.